Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Spähpanzer Ru. It's a German Tier 9 light tank, and this one's located on the south spawn of Malinovka under the command of the SaltyJedi. Yes, the SaltyJedi is riding again, and he's got a 2 marked Ru, which is not surprising because the SaltyJedi is actually very good at marking tanks. Well, what can I tell you about the Ru. Well, it's one of the best scouts on the German line, apart from the looks, and it's got quite a decent speed as well, 70 kilometers an hour forwards, and battle started. It's got a 90mm gun there, which is capable of alpha damage of 240 hit points, and SaltyJedi's headed straight for the spotting bush, and he's spotted a Progetto 46 already. And oh my god, he's spotting a lot of people, and he's getting some spotting damage. Now, you notice he's not actually going into the bush, he's actually just sitting behind it. Now, that could be a danger if the enemy makes it down the west side of the map, because they might spot him from the side. But it's actually more of a defensive, because if Arty was to hit the bush, they'd probably aim for the bush. And the shell might land in front of him, but not on him. Well, there you can see passive spotting, and although the Spähpanzer is a very good passive spotter, and look, there's his opposite number also in the bush, a Wizzy 132A. Although it's a very good passive spotter, it's also a good active spotter. He spotted a 263 and he's calling for fire on it, and Arty's firing on him. You see those down arrows, that's when Arty says we're attacking. We've got Indian Panzer trying to go up that little line to spot at that ridge. Hasn't worked very well because he was seen. He's pulled back a bit, his sixth sense must have gone off. He hasn't lost any hit points yet, but there's that 251. And he's well within visual range, and yes, he's taking fire now. And yep, he's gone. So we've got up to 2.6k of spotting damage already, which is very, very healthy, and that's going to earn the SaltyJedi a huge amount of credits at the end of the game. There's a Gorilla 15, and that Wizzy 1201 FT is actually in the dip at the moment, so it's a bit difficult to shoot at unless you're Arty. And there's the Indian Panzer making his way down, and this is what I feared. Somebody's come up the side. It's a T-54 lightweight. Now, when SaltyJedi's sixth sense would go off, he'd know, but it's definitely gone off now. He fired, so he's going to have to pull away, and an enemy shot just came in just after he moved. So he did make the wise decision to get out of there, because if he'd stayed, he would have been passively spotted by that T-54 lightweight. So now he's gone active, but he's also unspotted by the lightweight at the moment, so he can sit in this bush here and still carry on spotting. And now it's the problem for the lightweight, because he doesn't know where the SaltyJedi's gone. Well, scores are fairly even at the moment. Actually, it's a moment that I could bring up the fact that the SaltyJedi does have his own clan. He has the SaltyJedi Alliance and the SaltyJedi Battalion, and if you want to join his clan, you can actually visit his website at saltyjedi.com, I think it is, and if you do that, then you can contact him and think about joining his clan and joining in with the other players. I know many of the players in his clan, and I've actually played with them on many occasions. Great people, so good fun. Okay, no sign of that T-54. So SaltyJedi's going to move forward. Oh no, he's spotted, so somebody did see him. I think it's the T-54. So he's driving evasively to prevent any Arty round from hitting him, but still approaching the T-54. There he is, found him, locked on. Took a round, 263, but he fired a round back. Oh, and his ammo rack's gone, but he's picked up some spotting damage there again. 3756. He's going to have to repair that ammo rack, but not just yet. Pulling away. He might need the repair kit, and the Gorilla 15's turned up, and he just took a round into the tracks from the Wizzy 1201 FT. And the Gorilla can't see him at the moment, but he is still picking up spotting damage. He needs to get out of the way of that Gorilla. And he's just thinking, you know, where am I seen from? As he cuts across this bit of ground here, he's into a dip. and then he's got the lake, so he can conceal himself from that gorilla. And I think he's going to go back behind this bush to passive spot. It's going to be difficult for the gorilla to move forward without being seen now. I think actually one side of his vehicle is actually exposed, but I think it's covering the reference points, which are actually on the middle of the vehicle and at the back and at the front. Oh, you can see an Indian Panzer trying to cut across the lake there. And he doesn't shoot, because of course that would give his position away to the gorilla. Now, scores are not looking that great at the moment, with 4 tanks down. But we do have our Arty, and oh, that object is extreme, met a grisly death. I think he was on fire. And you notice that SaltyJedi still hasn't used this repair kit. He's only got the one small repair kit. Now he's used it. He's cured his ammo rack, and he needs the firepower, you see. 1 round every 6 seconds from that 90mm gun. Now the alpha damage is 240 hit points, as I said. Penetration 215 from the standard APCR, and that goes up to 250 with the heat rounds. He can also do 320 hit points of damage from the... oh, and the Wizzy 120 made a big mistake there. Got spotted and wiped out by our ship arm, the FB4005. And the gorilla's gone as well, taken out by our Striv, slightly to the north. So, they've actually clawed back a lot of the enemy, a lot of their losses from SaltyJedi spotting, because he's now up to 5.3k of spotting damage. Unfortunately, we've also lost the hill. T-44 gets into that dip area. We've lost the hill, and the IS-7 was last seen up on top of the hill. And they've got 2 tanks into that little area, that little dip, which is very useful for spotting that little dip, but very difficult to shoot at the enemy, because that little head of land actually protects anyone who's hiding around that little corner. Well, looks like SaltyJedi is going to push forward and see what he can spot. The T-44's popped up to have a look. That's been seen. And I have the feeling that the SaltyJedi is actually going to go on a bit of a recce. He's going to move up the map and try and spot the enemy. First thing he's going to do is pop to this bush, which is quite a handy little bush, just on top of that hill. Can sit up there and see for quite some distance into the enemy area. He needs to judge whether or not he can actually move further north and let the Arty attack the enemy. He could also be an active spotter now, in terms of moving into enemy territory to find them. And the T-44 has been spotted. I think he's outside our view range, but somebody else spotted him, probably the SDRB S103. And you notice how SaltyJedi stayed up as long as he could, then dived down into the dip to concealment. He's now going to use these bushes, see what he can see. It's obvious the enemy doesn't have anybody over this side of the map, so again he's using the dips, using these ridge lines to his advantage to stay unspotted. Now, enemy Arty, there's 3 of them. Oh, we've just killed the Ferdinand on the enemy team. He was killed by our GW Tiger piece, and now the Arty are going to be very active, because any second now we're going to spot either a GW Tiger P, a GW Tiger, or a Backchat 155-58. Because the SaltyJedi is now on an Arty hunt. And they don't appear to be here. So he's gone as far as he can in this area. And I think from now on he's going to have to try and look into the other area. Can he see any tracer? No. Okay, so it's going to have to go round this headland here, this inlet, get round to the other side and hunt there, because the Arty are definitely somewhere, and the only question is where. And he's using the ridge lines again, the banks and this water, to conceal his approach. I saw a tree go down. One of the Artys is on the move. Definitely one of them moved. So I think he's about to find someone. I definitely saw a tree move. We hasn't spotted someone yet. Oh, there's the bat chat. It may have been the bat chat, although the bat chat's not moving. Okay, well, he's highlighting that bat chat. The bat chat, sixth sense went off, and he knew they'd been seen, but he's under fire from the Arty, and he's getting the passive spotting from this. Oh, lovely, look at that. Taken out by the M53-55, and we found the IS-3 as well. And we could engage him at this point, but the IS-3 doesn't know where SaltyJedi is. And that's why... Oh, he's been seen now, so they do know where he is now. And he's backing away, using the ridgeline to his advantage. But the Arty, he's calling for fire on that IS-3. He's hoping his Arty will respond and put some rounds into the IS-3. He fires one round in, which traps the IS-3, holds him in place, and he gets below the ridgeline again, so he can't be fired upon. This is classic light tank play. And that round, I think, came from one of the enemy Artys, and it stunned the SaltyJedi, but he's managed to escape. And now he's in the cap, but he's not going to stay here. He's just passing through. Again, he provided his team with adequate spotting information. But now he's going to dive south and try and stop this T-44 from attacking our Arty. He's getting shots into our Jagdpanther and our Striv. They are losing hit points. There's the T-44. We've locked on. Fire a round at range. Remember, 6.42 seconds a shot, but he can use this ground here, approach the T-44 and then engage in close range. Almost there. One in and takes him out. Well, Striv actually got the kill, but now he's actually defended his team. There's only 3 enemies left. So far from being in a deficit, they've actually managed to claw their way back, and they're now winning the game. We know where the Arty are now. They're right up on top of the hill, and he indicates to his team where the Arty are. The enemy Arty are on top of the hill. So they must have gone north. So I wonder, actually, that tree that I spotted going down, was that the bat chat moving, or was it just my figment of my imagination? I may have misseen a tree falling, because the Arty were actually up here, all except the bat chat 155-58. Now, potential to get a Pascucci's medal if he takes these out. One into the Geschutzwagen Tiger P. Reloading and takes out the Tiger P. Drives right in front of the GW Tiger, but he's highlighting it for the rest of the team and pulling back before the GW Tiger can shotgun him. Oh, right over the edge there. But our own Arty know where the GW Tiger P is, and SaltyJedi's letting them get the hit before he pops up. Oh, puts one into the GW. Can he get the second one? Oh, and before he does, the Jagdpanther 2 kills the GW. So that's it, the game's over. The IS-3 was killed. I didn't see him killed, but he was definitely killed earlier in the game. And here's the end of battle result. It's an ace tanker for the SaltyJedi in the Spähpanzer Ru-251. He also managed to get a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage during that battle. And he spotted a great deal more than that. He also picked up a patrol duty for being the only one spotting at least 6 enemy vehicles whilst they were damaged, and a scout medal because he spotted at least 9 of the enemy during that battle. In fact, actually, he spotted 13 in total. So he managed to get first sighting of all of those tanks. And the win rate for this battle is 1656. But don't let that deceive you, because that is based on the amount of damage. And of course, it doesn't take into account spotting damage, which was actually enabled as a result of the SaltyJedi's spot. So let's have a look at the team scores, see where he came. Well, you can see right there at the top of the table was the Striv 1030. He managed 3,847 hit points. Then came the Conqueror gun carriage with 2562. He picked up a Confederate. And we have to look further down the table for the SaltyJedi. He managed to do 965 hit points of damage during that game from his gun. Now, when it came to kills, kills. It was the Striv 103 managed to get 3 kills along with our GW Tiger P and the M53. All 3 of them got 3 kills, and 2 of those were in platoon, so they also picked up brothers in arms. But the Salty Jedi managed to get 1 kill during that game. He got the GW Tiger, I believe, if that's correct. Yes, it was GW Tiger P, and so at least 1. When he came to base XP, he was right at the top of the table, and that was mostly due to the fact that he was doing spotting assistance. He was spotting the enemy, allowing his team to do damage, and he earned 1,323 experience points in that game. The next highest score was the Striv 1030 with 995, and then the GW Tiger P with 981. If we look at the detail report, we can see he fired 11 rounds. He got 6 direct hits, 4 penetrations, damage of 965 hit points, all at closer than 300 meters. He received 3 hits from the enemy, 1 penetration, 2 non-penetrations, and 2 hits as a result of splash damage. He spotted 13 enemy vehicles. He damaged 4 of the enemy, killed 1 of them, and did damage assistance of 8,196 hit points. 8,196. So a huge amount of damage done at his assistance. On the credit side, he earned 64,257 credits. He earned 32,129 for completing the missions, the holiday ops, and that came to a total of 96,386 credits. After repair and ammunition resupply, he took away 86,751 and got 6 bonds for completing the missions, the patrol duty and the scout medal. On the XP side, he earned 1,984 XP, got 993 for completing the mission, and 2,977 to take away. So a very good round there by the Salty Jedi on Malinovka, as he called it. And it does tend to bring out the best. It's one of the best spotting maps that you can actually be on, because you can see so much of the enemy. But he certainly did use all of the terrain, all of the bushes to his advantage during that game, and he certainly saw a lot of the enemy and actively spotted as well as he passively spotted. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.